Equilibrium Climbing Station is an indoor rock climbing gym, and our main motive here is to bring back the balance in people's lives, physically, mentally and socially. Hi, I'm Kirtana, and I run an indoor rock climbing gym called Equilibrium Climbing Station. It's located in Bangalore in Residency Road. I got into climbing because of two people, Sriram and Kirti sir. Both of them were in the profession of climbing, but I was in the advertising area, so they wanted to kind of combine advertising and climbing, which is why we formed a team and we started this. Sriram and Kirti sir were actually having a conversation about how climbing in India has not really taken off, and because probably the lack of infrastructure, and it's a very niche sport, so not many people are exposed to the sport of climbing, and they had this wonderful idea of how, maybe we should start an indoor rock climbing gym and see how it goes. And then they came to me and said, listen, why don't you advertise for us? So everything just clicked at the right time. So there are three types of climbing. There is bouldering, there is speed climbing, and there's lead climbing. So bouldering is this, where the height does not extend beyond 15 feet, and there are thick crash pads, so you don't need any other equipment. Speed climbing, like the name suggests, is two climbers just running up the wall, and the climber who's the fastest wins. So lead climbing is when you have all the necessary equipment to kind of help you climb, because you're going to be climbing at a very greater height, and there is when you need your harness, your helmet, a belayer. A belayer is a person who's helping you climb. So climbing as a sport is a very community sport. So what happens by that is everybody invariably knows the other person, and people get to know each other. It's not like the gym where you're running on the treadmill and you're feeling isolated. Here you talk, you solve a route together, because it's a puzzle. Sometimes if you can't solve it, you talk to the other person and say, how did you solve it? And they probably teach you a move. And as far as the member base goes, we have a huge variety. We have beginners who probably can't climb extremely difficult routes, and then we have the pros who've competed at international competitions and won like a lot of medals.
I'm Loki, I'm 17 years old, and I've been climbing for 6 years. I'm a national level champion. I've been winning the junior comp nationals for 2 years in a row, except I got 2 golds last year, and this year I got 1 gold, and I'm looking forward for the next championship.
Receive your ball!
I've been climbing for all these years because the sport gives me a thrill. So the first day when I just started, it was all like a normal sport, and I liked it, so I kept climbing. But then when I went to the outdoors, the adventure and the thrill I got, oh my god, I had to go there again, and I just kept training just so I can go back out there and climb harder rocks. Speaking of which, I'm gonna go to Himachal in the next few days, and then once my results come out, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna climb, and I'm gonna climb there and do everything I can. I'm gonna climb on every single rock, and right now I'm gonna go all full throttle in the sport. I'm gonna take up all my gear and go out and probably camp there for the rest of my life and climb, but then I can't do that. So I'm planning to go there every vacation.
We as a gym don't just have like indoor climbing, but we also go outdoors every second Sunday. And so it becomes like a whole gamut of an experience, because you're also enjoying the nature while you're climbing. We have 2 instructors at all times, one floor instructor at all times, and one is Mohindro and the other is Mohammed, and we also have a new person called Manjeet. So all of them have been climbers for a long time. Mohindro has won a lot of zonal competition. Mohammed is a para climber, so it clearly shows you the possibility that you cannot give an excuse that I don't I'm old, I'm aged, I'm weak, all those excuses really don't work with climbing. If you can climb a ladder, you can climb. So Mohammad is a great example for that, because he doesn't have a leg because he suffered from polio, and he is a climber, so which basically means anybody can climb. And lastly, we have a new instructor called Manjeet, who has a background of being a yoga teacher for 15 years. So which is why climbing doesn't get boring. Each time you come back, it's a different puzzle you have to solve. So your mind is at work, your body is at work. So it basically is an amalgamation of your senses, if I have to say it. So if you're a starter, what I'd suggest is first to understand whether you like the sport. I'd suggest come by once, try it out, and if you do like it, you have an easy upgrade option at Equilibrium. As far as merchandise or equipment for the sport goes, you only need climbing shoes, because this is a bouldering gym. Like you can see, the height is not very high. It's only 15 feet high, because of which you don't need gear, and you have like thick crash pads which will cushion your fall. And climbing shoes are again extremely expensive. The starting price of it is 4,000 rupees. So we don't really encourage our new members to buy a pair until they're more committed towards the sport. So we have climbing shoes which we provide for the climbers, and they can use that until they're sure about investing in their own pair. As far as Equilibrium's future goes, we want to encourage more people to climb. And since climbing is so close to being accepted and being held by the Olympics, if that climbing becomes a part of the Olympics, a lot more people, a lot more scope will come for the sport. We really want to get a mobile wall in place so we can take it around to schools, to colleges, and if people can't come to climbing, we want to take climbing to people so more people can experience the sport. And simple anecdote is when I read this book by Devatha, where she basically says kids also suffer from stress because they have their exams, they have their competitions, their parents are constantly comparing them to their peers and saying, oh my god, you didn't get good marks. And they suffer from stress too, but they don't really get affected by it because they run around and they play. But as we keep growing older, we kind of stop running around, we stop playing, we stop doing the necessary activity to keep stress at that optimum level. And you start leading very sedentary lives, your food habits are bad. So our goal here is to encourage even the busiest person in the world to work out thrice a week. And why would that be fun is when you work out with your loved ones. So it's an extremely safe environment for children because of the thick crash pads which will cushion their fall. And like every other sport, you can fall in a basketball court. In addition to that, I would want every one of you to come to Equilibrium, because now we have something called the 8-minute trial, and you can try out climbing for 8 minutes. At 8 minutes, the first second of 8 minutes, you will have to pay 200 rupees. So you get to climb for free, and you'll probably kind of get an experience of what climbing is in those 8 minutes. So please come by.
Destroy your identity.